So since it's the holidays, Christmas is coming, I decided to, post up in front of my tree and everything, get all festive and whatnot. So anyway, I wanted to post this video because I was thinking about something today, and it was really something that I feel a lot of us do. I'm guessing. I'm guessing you all do it, but I know I do it. So I was thinking about a dream I had a few months ago. And in that dream, I'll just tell you a little bit about it. In that dream, I was in a prison, and not your typical American prison. It was one of those, you know how they say, like, when you go to certain countries, don't get arrested? Okay, so it was one of those kind of prisons where it really just looked like a pit. It was just a pit. And in there, you know how when you've watched like shows like back in the day, like Oz or Law and Order or whatever, where they show you a prison and it's the little toilet, the bed, whatever. Yeah, it didn't look nothing like that. And the toilet was not even a toilet. It was just basically like a drain you squat over. So it was the most nasty, disgusting thing that I could have thought of. And that's where I was in the dream. And you know what's so crazy about dreams is when you feel it, like you really feel it, like you're living it. So in that dream, I was completely distraught. I was like, I got to get out of here. I can't stay in here. I was trying to, it's like a part of me knew I was dreaming. So I was trying to wake up from the dream because it felt terrible. Because it looked like I was going to be there for a few months. I don't recall what I did. That's not important. But whatever it is, I was just there. So when I woke up, I actually started journaling. And it's not a dream journal. It's just I write all types of stuff in there. But I decided to write that dream down because I had a feeling that it was symbolic. So the more I prayed on it, I meditated on it, I realized that it was symbolic of where I was in my life at that moment. So I had been struggling with a situation that I was very displeased with myself at how not really how I handled it, but more so that I was even in it. And I kind of hold myself at a certain standard. So when I fall short, I get really upset with myself and I'm really hard on myself. And I think my lack of being able to forgive myself has really hindered my progress in a lot of different areas of my life. It's one thing to be able to forgive others. I don't know how good I am at that. I think I'm okay. But definitely when it comes to forgiving myself, I'm really hard. So in saying all of that, the dream really helped me realize that I was in that prison. And the funny thing about it, a few months after I had that dream, I had kind of like a moment where I realized that the door to the prison was never locked. I was always able to get out of it, right? Because I don't know if it was that I had like a daydream or something, but it was almost like part two of the dream. But in that moment, I realized I was keeping myself in that prison. I wasn't even locked in. Actually, no, it was a part of the dream. I remember walking out and then I woke up. So it's basically that I keep myself in that prison. It's not even locked. It's me that's keeping me in there. So today I realized that it has been 9 months since I've been dealing with that. Just something that I was like, oh, why did I get myself in that situation? Like, why? I knew better. I felt like I was settling. I felt like it was just the wrong thing. But I had to start forgiving myself for it. I had to go through that whole process of what got me there in the first place. Why did I decide to settle? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? And go deeper and deeper into even some traumatic places that I didn't want to go to, but I had to go there so I could figure these things out, because then I realized that it was a pattern. It wasn't even the first time. It was a pattern. So now I'm like, okay, going through it. But after I came through, after I went through all of that, it really was kind of like when you have like a bunch of wires all tangled up. I had to go through the detangling. And once I did that, you would have thought, okay, now she's going to have peace. I didn't. It was still like the struggle where one day I was like okay with part of the situation, and then the next day there was another part I was thinking about. So it was like unpacking, packing, unpacking, packing. It really felt like insanity, and it was torture. And so I finally was like, you know what, let me pray on it. I prayed on it. And then I really feel like God really showed me that these past 9 months, I sentenced myself to a prison. You know, it was basically like I sentenced myself to a prison. And I've been struggling and stressing for all those months. 9 months is a long time to be going through that. Like, that's crazy. But I think a lot of us do it. And I think when we're on that road to really learning how to love ourselves and how to let go of some things. Forgiveness is step number one. I really think that forgiving yourself for allowing certain things or for putting yourself through certain things, it feels like a betrayal of yourself. You're thinking about if someone else did some of the things to you that you do to yourself, like I wouldn't forget that person. So that's what you're doing to yourself. You're not forgiving yourself. But the difference is you can walk away from people. You can't walk away from yourself. So you're torturing yourself almost daily. That's what it felt like to me. And so now that I'm finally at that place where I was like, okay, you know what? That 9 month sentence, that's it. It's not getting another day, another moment. It's over. I'm officially out of prison. Like, I'm done, because I refuse to just keep going through that. Like, it sounds like insanity. You know how we talked about there's that meme that's going around, and it's going around because I did post it. It said something about how Trump keeps wanting the votes to be recounted and getting the same results, and that's the definition of insanity. Well, this is the definition of insanity too, and it will drive you crazy, where you keep on just kind of going, unpacking, packing, going back and forth with yourself and not forgiving yourself. You're never going to get better results. You're never going to get to where you want to, where you want to go and really learn to love yourself if you're just in that place of unforgiveness towards yourself. So it's definitely important, that we work on forgiving others. They say that in itself is another prison that you could keep yourself in by not forgiving others, but definitely by not forgiving yourself. Like, I feel like it's not even just a prison, it's an overseas nasty dirty prison that you put yourself in. And then when you realize it wasn't even locked, like the door wasn't locked, the gate was like, it wasn't even locked, like you didn't even have to be there, you could have been come out, but you didn't, because you were just so upset with yourself. You just didn't forgive. So it was like it was basically like punishment. You were punishing yourself is really what it is. And so at the end of the day, I felt really good when I came to that realization and just made that decision that I'm done. Anytime I start going back into it, I'm like, nope, I'm out of prison. I got my papers. I'm good. So hopefully this gets you to thinking about areas of your life. If you feel like you've been doing the same thing, I really encourage you to work on that. Really work on for truly forgiving yourself, understanding that we're human, we're gonna make mistakes, and unfortunately sometimes those mistakes that are they're at our own expense, like we suffer from it. So hopefully we can start working on that, especially with the new year coming. We really want to get on the good foot, and so that's what I encourage us to do. So if you have any comments or anything, if you've experienced something similar, let me know, and keep your notifications on, so when I post new videos and all that good stuff, you'll be able to know. So if I don't make another video before the holidays, let me just wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a prosperous New Year, and I will see you soon.